I was on mute.
Yep, now you're not on review. So we're here with, I think these guys are all between 2001 and then 2007, those years. So we're going to let them start. I'm going to start in my bottom right because she's got some little kids with her. Shannon, Whelan. I never said it right, but now it's Mosley. That makes it easier, right?
Yeah.
So we'll let you start, Shannon.
Okay. Like Tom said, Shannon Whelan, now Mosley. And I married a Creighton boy. He was on the baseball team, and we both, we are now in Utah with two kiddos, a boy and a girl, McCoy and Sutton. Is there more you want?
That's a good start. We'll carry on as we keep going.
Fair enough.
So I will move up then, and one above on my screen is Deidre Senders. What's your new name?
I am now Deidre Iverson.
That's right.
I did not marry a Creighton boy, although his parents and family are from Omaha, but I didn't meet him in Omaha. I met him in Portland when I was in high school, actually. And we have two kids, a 4-year-old boy and a 2-year-old girl, and we're living in Portland.
Awesome. All right, moving down to my center here, Elizabeth Lou Hurley, now doll.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Lou.
So I am in Fargo, North Dakota. I have 4 boys, 9, 8, 5, and 3. And I married a Creighton boy, but not a tennis boy. And we're having fun. Busy and crazy, but loving it.
Fargo, we were actually going to be heading to Fargo this year, at least I was with the men's team, until our season got canceled early.
To play who?
To play North Dakota. Oh, no, that's Grand Forks.
Grand Forks.
How far away is that from you then?
70 miles north. Close.
Oh, okay. So you would have come.
For sure. For sure.
TV, for sure.
You know what's crazy here is for high school sports, they will drive 3.5 hours for like a Wednesday night basketball game.
Oh.
Crazy. One way. So 3.5 hours this way and then 3.5 hours back.
So you'll be doing that eventually, huh? I didn't think about that, did you? All right, moving over here, bottom left on my screen is Katie Chiu Perry. Katie Perry.
Yes.
Go ahead, Katie.
Yes. Katie Chiu, now married a boy in Utah, and became Katy Perry, not the singer, obviously. And then we kind of moved around, but we actually moved back to Omaha. It'll be 4 years in June, and we have a 3-year-old son, Elliot. That's it.
Awesome. And you need to come to a few more home matches.
Yeah, yes, I do. I did show up there. I didn't get to see you, but I did get to talk to Jean. Yes. And my goal is 1 a year, which I know sounds pathetic, but with the toddler, you guys know how it is.
Yeah. All right. Last but not least, Kim McCarthy and Cavan McCarthy, which we talked about with our girls on spring break because they want to know if any other Bluejays had married each other. So we brought up you guys. So go ahead, tell us all about it.
All right, I'm Kim McCarthy. I did marry a Creighton tennis player, T-Mac, from the men's team. And he was the same year as Shannon and Deidre and I. We actually got married a year after we graduated, so we're coming up on 14 years in July. We live out in San Diego, where I'm from, and we have 4 little ones. So we have 3 boys, 8, 6, 5, and then my daughter is 2.
Awesome. And Tom's not home right now, I'm assuming.
No, he's on the front lines. He's a hospitalist, so he's working on this whole pandemic craziness.
Yeah. Is he able to come home and be there at night and everything? Is that fine?
Thankfully he is. We debated about that, and luckily things in San Diego haven't been as bad as like they are in New York and some other places. We might have had to make a decision like that if things had gotten worse here, but so far we're doing okay, and he's coming home.
Great. Great. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do, and this is just me making stuff up, I'm not any professional interviewer or anything like that. As you know, I'm going to share the screen because I have some pictures some of you guys sent me. And we can just go through here and you guys can bring back any memories or talk about any of these former people that you want to. I don't even know where this was.
That was spring break.
Oh, really?
Usually spring break.
Yeah. When we were in Nashville? Did we stop in Nashville?
I think you're right. I think
dinner?
I sent that out in one of the last
Oh.
social media. So here's Lou Hurley. She's on right with us. Shannon right here. Deidre. Jean. Jen Burge. What's her last name now? Heller. There's Katy Perry. Kim McCarthy and Christine Alexander. I don't know where Christine is these days. Anybody keep in touch with her?
Mm-mm.
No? Okay.
Jean, you blend right in with us.
A lot younger than.
That must have been senior day for 3 of you.
That's a good one.
Yeah, that is.
Looks like you're at a baseball dugout. Where is that?
I think Tranquility.
Yeah, I think it is.
I think
The
that's
cheater hat.
Tranquility.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't know who sent that.
That was spring break San Fran, right?
Oh, maybe San Francisco spring break.
Oh, were you guys the San Francisco girls?
Yeah, I think that was San Francisco now that you say that, Deidre.
And I'm just having like a flood of memories from that trip. The first night we got there, didn't we get to our hotel like really late?
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
I remember parking was like $90 a van a night or something. The things I remember.
Oh, and remember when I didn't read the sign that said "Don't drive a 15-passenger van down Lombard Street," and we did it anyway?
Yes. The most crooked street in the world in our big old van.
Oh, that stressed me out so hard. Oh, that was a dumb mistake. Oh, well, it worked out. We lived.
Yeah. All right.
There's some of you guys, I was at St. Louis, right? On
Oh,
the Rangers spring break.
St.
Right.
And the Blue Jay basketball team was in the Arch Madness tournament.
You guys remember selling programs?
Oh, God.
Oh, no, I don't remember that at all.
Do they still do that?
Well, go.
No, you go ahead.
Currently, our son, Tom Jr., TJ, is the program sales director. So he sometimes just him and a few buddies. But yeah, our players ended up starting to get paid for that about 10 years ago.
Oh,
Nice.
So the rest of us were jealous that we didn't get paid. But yeah, they make some good money during those games.
Oh. Now Sarah's back in St. Louis. I do know that.
Oh, is she?
Who's
She
that?
was in Florida for a while and is now working at the VA.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
Who else is in here that we need to get back?
Jody she did some of her training in St. Louis, I think as a DO. I would love to know what Lisa was doing, but I haven't heard from her
I haven't
forever.
heard from Lisa Ludwig in a long time. Right there.
Oh, yeah, okay. We could be back in line. She might
I'm
not be
pretty
too far
sure
away.
Tranquility.
That was always one of your favorite nights, I'm assuming, the Jamboree. We didn't do that this year, but it was the first time in a long time.
Yeah, but they switched it to game day attire, so no formal dresses. It's all jeans and like Creighton tops. Great.
I cut out a couple of your bridesmaids there, Kim.
Yeah, they were not relevant to the meeting.
I didn't want them to sue us or anything. This is Kim and Tom's wedding. That was our
Oh my
senior
God.
night.
Oh, Oh, wow.
Oh my gosh.
This was not when you were players anymore. It was a week after you got done.
Wow.
Where was that?
You guys are babies.
That was
oh my
out west, kind of
goodness.
by our house at a bar.
Even
I
you
did.
look like a baby.
Clancy. I think it was at
Tom.
Clancy.
I don't remember that. Funny.
Nope, back to the wedding. There's the dream couple.
I love
Mom
it.
still have the same haircut, Kim?
Totally different. I should
Yeah.
say, yeah, I forgot this one. I was gonna send this to you, but
Hold on,
his hair
let me
is like
check.
short now.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, what a great.
Yeah. He does look different.
I think that was the last photo I had anyway. Oh, I know. There's one other thing I need to share. I have a few matches, some memorable matches. What's that? Let me make sure that was the last picture. Nope, I didn't. This was another picture.
Oh.
Let's see if there are any more.
And you know what was kind of crazy when I was thinking about pictures? Like, we're so old that it's before we had smartphones. So we didn't have our phones with us. It's like a period in my life where it's completely absent of pictures. And it's because we're so old that phones were so different.
That is true.
Glad you brought that up because we do have a ton more pictures starting when cell phones, all that came out.
Mhm.
So this 2002, I don't know, can you guys see that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This was just a 4-3 win. I guess it wasn't. I didn't write anything. Well, I guess, yeah.
Oh.
That was before Katie Chiu. Yeah, everybody on the call won.
Oh, somebody retired that I played with. Did she retire?
She couldn't take it anymore. Yes. I wrote that down somewhere and I just read that I had written down that you wore her out and she cramped up and she couldn't play anymore after the second set.
No funny. You know, I might actually remember this one. Were we playing at it was one of the few matches we played at Dewey, if I remember right.
No, that's coming up though.
Okay.
I've got that. I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah.
This one was in St. Louis.
Oh, okay.
Hold on, there's another one in this year. Evansville.
Just
Evansville.
good to ton.
Was this their senior day or not? I can't remember.
No.
This was one that you were probably at and I wasn't because I
Yeah,
would have
that's
been
why
with the
my
men's
name's
team.
different.
That
Another big
wasn't
one.
our senior day because
No, I remember we ruined one of their senior days though. You guys made them all cry.
Senior day.
I hope
right.
this is it.
I don't move to. This stuff is gonna get in the way. This might have been it. So this is the next year. No, this would have been Omaha, so not their senior day. It's 2 straight years you guys beat Evansville 4-3. Crushing their dreams.
Remember all the
That's pretty amazing that you have records of these, Tom.
We have all the books. Or yeah, we have all the scorebooks. If I can get to this one without the screen share. There we go. Here's the one we were talking about. This is Dewey. And you have to give the assist to Shannon.
Oh yeah.
I remember the girl, I probably should highlight her or not highlight her name in case somebody sees
Redacted
this. Maybe she's a very good person, normal, but that day she was I remember, I think you brought out the worst in her, Kim.
Probably.
And then Shannon took care of her.
I don't remember what you guys were talking about at all.
If this is the one I remember at Dewey, it
Yes.
was really fun because it was a really close match, I think. And for some reason, the men's team was there. And they started, like, jumping and making noise. They got really into it, which, you know, I'm sure you guys remember that that wasn't super typical because they were usually in the opposite place playing their own match.
Right. Yep.
It was really fun to have them there, and it was kind of like a rowdy match, and a lot of people were cheering.
And
Yep.
Shannon was going crazy and making that girl so angry. It was the funniest thing. in the
No,
world.
I could never imagine doing such a thing.
It was the best.
That's what I wrote down here. It's great team support by Shannon Whelan and Christina Alexander. And then I put Kim came through in the clutch against the, I won't say that word, blankest girl of all time. I hope somehow she doesn't watch this video. Or one of her friends. There's you guys beating Wichita State, which was a big win back then for sure. Well, would be today too.
Oh, remember when we went in the van and I was like trying to confuse Tom with like, oh yeah, we lost, like Megan lost, and oh yeah, so-and-so won. And then at the end he's like, wait, I don't know what the score was. And we like were all screaming at him. Oh, it was the greatest. That was so fun.
Did he buy it?
Oh yeah, he thought for sure, because I was like totally downplaying it.
I was counting it up in my head as she was describing it. I'm like, well, all right, it's 3-3. And then she said,
It was all yelled that we won.
Yeah, I
You
do.
guys
I
lost
remember
3.
that, Jean.
That was so fun.
That was in Omaha. The men had just played Wichita State, I think. I remember I was in our basement of our old house. Weird the things you remember.
Yeah. Tom, how are things different now that it's not the Missouri Valley anymore?
Well, we don't play a regular season schedule with the Big East teams. We could go a whole season and not play any of them, which is weird. But we're so spread out. I mean, we're 7 hours away from the closest competitor in Chicago, DePaul. And the rest are a little bit further away or all the way on the East Coast. So we try to pick up as many as we can on our trip to Florida. We played Georgetown and Providence this year, and the men played Xavier in Georgetown. We go to Marquette because that's not far away, and then they come here every other year, and DePaul's been doing the same thing as well. So we probably get 4 to 6 matches in a year in the Big East. Yeah.
And
then we meet.
Trips? You take the van?
We do take the van unless we go to Florida. Yep. And our conference tournament is in South Carolina. So we fly twice now.
So much better ride down there.
So this is the last match I guess I had written down is that the majority of you guys played in. Big win over Missouri State. But
Look at that, Lou. Double bagels there. 6-0-6-0.
Every time. Go big or go home in the first game.
That's right.
I think Katie must have clinched this one. 7-5 and a third will probably be the clincher.
Good job, Katie.
Way to go, Katie. All right. I've been bragging about all you guys for years. I always tell stories about you guys. You guys had a lot of stories. Yeah, I remember Kim driving me nuts half the time, and you were either my favorite player on that day or my least favorite player on that day.
I think you guys drove each other nuts. That's probably a fair way of putting
I'm quite certain to win both days.
it.
Yeah, no, you're right.
I remember spending 24 hours in the hospital with Deidre. I can't even remember why, but I know it was at K-State, and that's the only time I've ever been awake for more than 24 hours without sleep. I know that.
Well, I know what it is now. I can pinpoint what it was.
I have a funny memory of, I don't know, well, I think it's when we were freshmen. So I don't know that Lou and Katie will remember this, but Tom, I remember you had us running hills. Like there was this big hill right behind Creighton, and it was like just east of campus. And we were running hills with the men's team. And so you had kind of set this course for us, and you had told us that we were all going to run like so many times unless somebody lapped you. And so T-Mac, he made it like his job. He desperately wanted to lap you so we didn't have to all run like 20 times in this loop up this hill on this hot day. So, and you were running it too with us, you know? So, I mean, he just went out hot, like sprinting. Everybody else kind of settled into their pace and just kind of made, you know, terms with the fact that we were going to have to do this loop like 20 times. But he was out to get you. So he didn't make it, and he almost lost his lunch. Like, apparently, Tom, you're like a closet runner. I don't know, but we had never seen you run. And then all of a sudden, you're like really fast at running. So I think he underestimated your running ability. But I trust when I remembered that.
Tom got some practice running when he'd get in trouble at his own practices. He had to go running with Ed for like 10 miles one day after the worst. Missed a practice because he overslept or something.
Yeah.
Well,
this is being recorded. We'll move on to something else.
You're really fast, though. I couldn't
Well,
believe
my question is now, that was how many years ago? So now with your current teams, do you still offer that up? That, like, do you still go out hard, Tom?
I cannot run. I'll hit in once in a while. If I only had one team I was coach, I'd probably hit in a lot. But with two teams, if I'm hitting with one team, then I'm not even paying attention to the other team. And a lot of times we practice at the same time, as you know. So, yeah. No, I can't run. Can't run like I used to. It happens.
All right. My favorite memory from, and I can't remember who all was there. I feel like all of you probably were, was Shannon Scrubs.
Yep, that was my favorite memory.
And when we stole them on that road trip and you thought that you left them in the hotel and you were so sad. And then Tom came out to the van wearing them.
No, it started before
Shannon, you got to unmute yourself.
Sorry, he was pumping gas in them. He was at the gas pump. I was wearing my scrubs. I didn't even know what to do. Yeah, you stole them, didn't you?
I did.
They were missing far before that because we had to take them out of the wash, Kim, at the house we were all living in, and we took them out of the wash, and Shannon was like, you guys, somebody stole my scrubs. Like, I think somebody, like, she was convinced that somebody had really stolen her scrubs. And it was like a week, like she was without her scrubs for like a week. It was
oh man, they were like my security blanket.
Yeah, you were traumatized by that.
You don't still have those, do you?
Especially when I came out and saw Tom wearing them. I just remember I just didn't even know what to do with
No,
myself.
you screamed. I remember that. You screamed really loud.
Probably
before putting them on.
Hey, purple, am I remembering that right?
What?
purple.
Yeah.
And I also remember that the very first Missouri Valley banquet, like all the tennis teams were there. She wore those scrubs to that. Every other team was like either dressed up nice or in their uniforms, and we looked a little ridiculous. It was a little embarrassing.
Only Shannon could do that.
And I think I remember Lou's, like, your fall semester, our first tournament, the big giant sunglasses.
Yeah. I still have some.
Oh yeah. Oh, those look like their exact same pair. That's
good.
right.
Oh my God.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yes, if it works, just
I totally remember that, Lou.
Before your freshman year, I think we played in St. Louis, and you came and watched us at one of the clubs. I think we were playing indoors somewhere. And you
you guys played where I trained at Sunset, and you played the Billikens, I think.
That's right. And I remember you came and you had like high heels, and I don't know if you had somewhere to go afterwards or you just wanted to make it good. And yeah, you were like looking good. I was like, wow, this girl's like, I don't even have high heels like that.
Oh man, that's kind of embarrassing.
No, it was fabulous. I think you had somewhere else you had to be right afterwards, but I was like, man, she's like dressed up.
Hey, I'd take that story over purple scrubs.
To a banquet, correct.
Exactly.
You weren't wearing high heels with your purple scrubs.
I don't know if I owned a pair of those or not.
Does anybody remember that blizzard freshman year spring break? there was like a huge blizzard. We were leaving for Florida, and it was like a whiteout. I just remember standing in Dagoman Circle. Do they still call it that?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, and it was like complete whiteout.
Oh my gosh.
No?
And we were driving the spring break?
Oh, I'm sure.
No, we weren't driving. We were gonna drive to the airport.
Oh,
Yeah, because remember it was like 2000.
okay.
No, 90.
Anyway, I don't know. Maybe it was just because I'm from San Diego or Las Vegas then. So I was like, what have I done with my life?
Yeah, and you were probably wearing your windbreaker that you came for winter in too. So that's probably why it stands out to you because
It's not a windbreaker. Thank God I lived right next door to Shannon. Shannon was my freshman next door neighbor dorm person, and she saw my winter jacket that I bought, and she was like, "What are you doing?" That was really the jacket that I bought. It was like a windbreaker. I had no idea. She helped me.
I think I helped dress you in more ways than one. I remember Tom would always be like, okay, now we're going to be wearing this uniform tomorrow, which means Shannon, make sure Kim has this uniform in her bag. Okay, got it.
College sweatshirt or college hat.
It's funny now because we have so much to juggle, all these kids we all have, and like keeping track of everyone's stuff. Like I couldn't even keep track of my own uniform. Come on, Kim. I mean, now it would be so easy. Just keep track of yourself. But,
Yeah, isn't it funny that we thought we were busy
Perspective.
before children? Oh.
yes, it's nuts. It's really nuts.
All right, so who was the strength coach when you guys were there?
Ochi.
Oh, she was?
Yeah.
Okay, I couldn't remember if he had started or if Charlie was still there.
And he had an assistant too.
It was Ochi and Jen.
Yep.
Yeah.
Jen is still in the exercise science department doing boot camp. Like she does boot camp for a bunch of the like faculty staff ladies or whatever, and we do it 3 days a week. It is so much fun.
It's cool.
Yeah.
And so the head strength coach down at the USCA Center in Florida now in Orlando, that 100-court complex.
Oh,
So
that's
he's doing really well.
That's awesome. I always liked them.
Yeah, we see him all the time when we're watching like Wimbledon or the U.S. Open or the French. We'll see him when they have one of the young American people playing. You'll always see him up in a box or kind of behind the scenes. So we'll just pause it and take a picture and send it to him.
Oh, fun. How long has he been doing that for?
He left in 08.
Yeah, I think he started that in 08.
Been about 12 years.
A while.
Yeah.
I think it was Ochi that told me if you lined up all the Creighton athletes in like a line and Kyle Korver was on one side, I would be on the farthest complete opposite according to like strength and speed.
Nice way of putting it.
I always tried to argue with him. You don't have to have a lot of strength to hit the ball hard, but
Timing. You had timing.
I did have timing.
That's true. You weren't always the strongest or the fastest, but you were a competitor.
yay.
Hey, Deidre, she'll get ya. So Tom, are us two, I mean, my Tom and you and Jean, are we the only two that have gotten married?
Yeah, there was 2 before us. They get married. They're not married anymore, but well, they're both married to different people.
Got it. Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, I was kind of scratching my head because we had assumed that was the case, but it just seems like,
It
know,
would happen more.
yeah, I guess that's what we thought too.
That's what we thought.
Yeah, and the number of years that we've been there.
Maybe they don't want this to happen.
Yeah, they've seen it. And they're like, this is not a good thing. No need.
But Kim, you like me so much, you just knew you had to marry a guy named Tom. It was a tennis guy.
I had to, yeah. It was the only logical thing for me to do.
Katie, what are you in a pharmacy here in Omaha right now?
Yeah, I just work part-time at Nebraska Medical Center.
Okay.
So, yeah, I've cut back a lot since having Elliot so that I can kind of have more of a balance with motherhood and stuff. And it's been great. So
Good. And where's James?
He's back in Sioux Falls. He's a psychiatrist there. And
Okay.
for anyone who's watching, James was my brother, and he played freshman, sophomore year.
Yeah.
Did he play with you guys, Kim, Shannon? I can't remember now. He would have been like, I think, yeah, he was just a little bit older than you guys.
Maybe before them, yeah.
But yeah, he's a psychiatrist in Sioux Falls right now.
So on the other spectrum of Deidre, it would be Katie's athleticism, leaping ability, and speed.
Yeah, that was another life. I don't feel like I have any of those things anymore.
How many of you all still play tennis?
Just a little bit.
Yeah, same, just a little bit. It seems like I play more when I'm back home just because it's easier to like quick grab my brother and run out on the court, and we have childcare, which would be my parents. So it's just easier than trying to coordinate here. So I don't play that much right now.
Are you playing, Dee?
Shannon, when was the last time you played?
Last time I played. Right. I was playing, and then shortly after having McCoy, he was like 3 months old, and I was playing, and I ruptured my Achilles.
Oh.
So yeah, that's put a little damper on it since then. But I've been playing pickleball here and there, and that's been, yeah, it's really, really big in Utah, and I think it's kind of getting big everywhere.
It's getting big everywhere, yeah.
Yeah. So that's been fun. But how about you, Dee? Are you playing at all, or Lou?
No, like once or twice a year.
Okay.
But it's a goal to get back in it, because every time I talk to my mom I talk to my mom all the time, but like once or twice a year she'll bring it up. So gonna get into a league. I think she's probably like, I drove you how many days a week, all over.
For sure.
What about you, Dee?
Bo, my husband and I, we spent 2 or 3 summers, maybe just 2, doing the Pepperdine Nike camp. And that was, I don't even know how many years ago, but that was probably the last time I touched a racket. So, yeah.
And now you can, I don't know that everybody was on here. You got to show the scar that you got from your amazing bike career.
Gotten into BMX biking, and I broke my collarbone.
Oh.
It was my son that got me all into the biking and like got me hooked. And now, the bike park's been closed since all of this, but then he stopped wanting to go with me. So he got me all like into it. And then I guess it just became my thing because he doesn't really like doing it anymore.
Fun hobby. What about you guys, Tom and Jean? Do your kids play?
No.
They played at because we teach at the country club still in the summer, Oak Hills Country Club. We've been doing that since, I don't know, 94, I guess. And so they would come, and it would be like, you can either sit in the office until we're done teaching, or you come be a part of the clinics. And so the first few years, yeah, we basically made them. They kind of wanted to anyways, but they were a part of our clinic. So they kind of know how to play tennis, but never had a passion.
Not their love. No, they're into weird, interesting things. TJ's a trap shooter. So he spent 7 years, like middle school, high school, shooting whatever. Got really good. He was top 7, like at state his junior year. He was like top 7% out of the 2,600 shooters at state. So he was amazing. And then Kate is into archery. So same kind of thing. She's like oddly good at it, but something that we never did. And I think they did that on purpose to make us learn a new sport or new activity. So yeah, we have lots of new things that we're learning about.
That's cool. I like that.
Yeah, and TJ this year is, right now he's got a final today. He's finishing up his first year at Creighton. So they got kicked out of the dorm. He was in Kiewit until spring break, and then they wouldn't let him go back. And now he'll be in McGloin next year. So.
The mini
Wow, McGloin.
Oh.
That doesn't look like a McCarthy. I don't know who
Right
does.
right there, little Tom.
4. I'm the youngest.
You're the youngest.
Youngest boy.
Hi, Adam. McCoy, come here.
Do you have a
It's
question?
Adam.
Do you have a question? I think you might have a question.
What is the question?
What is your question?
Did you guys play tennis?
Yeah.
Lots of tennis. Do you play tennis? Good.
Yeah. He wants to know if Tom and Jean, if you guys play tennis.
Well, I had to stop for a little while because I just had a back surgery. So I'm not allowed to play for a little while longer.
Oh,
Yeah.
I
but it's
still
all
play
right.
tennis.
he plays. He does play. He says
Yes.
yes.
I want to play with your dad when he comes back to visit me.
And your mom.
Yeah.
That's right.
I'm just kidding.
You know that would be more fun
I'll
to
play
play
with
with.
Jean.
That's right.
Absolutely. Or we'll sit on the side and heckle because I'm really good at that.
Here we go. For sure. Thanks, Adam. Okay.
I feel like we're tennis grandparents. So many kids in this group. Oh,
Do your boys play, Kim, or no?
Yeah, we've just gotten back into it in the last year. We really hadn't for a long time. It just seemed like it was all about changing diapers and you know how it is when you're like in the thick of it. But I feel like just recently, you know, our oldest is 8, so now he can, and then the next oldest is 6. So we've gotten in, I would say, a year of like lessons and clinics, and I did play in a league, which was an interesting experience.
How so?
Oh, you know, I mean, I would say it's really competitive, and it feels strange because, you know, the women like really are super competitive, and I just kind of wanted more to be in it for fun. Yeah. So this is another one. I have another guy with me here. We're rotating through. Can you say hi?
Hi,
How old are you?
Drew.
This is
I'm 6.
Yeah.
he's Drew. Drew, he's 6. You have a question too? No. Okay. He doesn't have a question. Just wanted to say hi.
it's a good
Hi,
team.
Drewy.
Hello, Shannon.
Hi. It's so good to see you.
And Katie.
Like Lou's got somebody too. Lou's got a gift.
This guy?
Yeah.
This is Fred.
Hi.
Want to look up and say hi?
And how old is he?
Yeah, how old are your
He's 3.
boys?
He's my baby.
Aww.
How old are all of your kids, Lou? Because you have 4, you said?
Yeah. Charlie's 9. He'll be 10 in July. Henry's 8. Sam is 5. So they're all like 20 months-ish apart.
Jeez. Crazy.
That's amazing, Lou.
Sorry, that face was for actually my kid. Sorry.
So, Lou, do you
So cute.
There's another
Look
one.
at that
know
blonde hair.
anyone that we haven't seen?
What?
I was asking Lou if she keeps in touch with anybody like besides Sarah or.
No, Jody once on Facebook just because I saw she was doing some training close to where my parents live. Sarah just via text. My mom actually sees her more because it seems like when I'm in St. Louis, it's like for the holidays, it seems like she's up here with her.
Oh, gotcha.
But no.
Yeah, but then you 4 see each other quite a bit. Isn't there like family, like Katie and Shannon? Don't you guys have in-laws that are in the same place and you'll catch up occasionally?
Yeah, for sure.
We planned
Katie-
that way back like 15 years ago. She planned on marrying someone that was from Nebraska. I planned on marrying someone from Utah, and then we figured where we ended up, we'd always have that connection, right, Shannon?
Totally.
Well thought through.
Totally.
Well thought through.
Pact we made.
It's funny how it works. Like I think Shannon, I think my husband's partner went to high school with you. Bob
Oh, no
Knapp.
way. Oh my gosh. No, I mean, we'll have to do this another time, but Bobby Mack is your husband's partner?
Uh-huh.
Oh my goodness. I love Bobby. That's so cool. He goes by Bob now, I guess.
I heard Bemidji. I was like, hey, I know someone from there.
That's too crazy. Wow. I did not know that.
All right, Shannon, that just brought back another memory. Oh my God, you guys, look at that water. It's so beautiful. Every single little swamp we saw in Florida.
Oh boy. You know what's funny? I'm hearing some northern accent out of you, Lou. Like
I am
you,
too.
you totally are representing Fargo.
that all the time.
That's
And I get
awesome.
now, after living up here, I get the, oh, you betcha.
That's awesome. Well, I remember when I first came, Tom, I'd be like, Coach, come here. And you'd be like, oh, just say it. I won't come until you say it one more time. I'd be like, Coach, no, stop. I think you pretty much beat the long O's out of me after a while.
Well, we used to call you Bemidji, remember?
Yeah.
Right.
Bemidji Mobile.
We never met
Agreed.
anybody from Bemidji before.
Yeah, I know. It sounds like a foreign country.
Is your family still up there, Shannon?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. For the most part, like all my extended family, and then dad and mom still go back and forth between
Okay.
there.
And you're in the Hall of Fame now.
In
The Bemidji Hall of Fame.
Yeah. Yeah, in Bemidji. Yeah. I don't know how that happened, but I guess you could say my there's a picture on the wall. So
I'm working on getting Katie Chiu into the Creighton Hall of Fame. I got to do more work.
absolutely. Yeah.
She'll be there soon, I think.
Very
I have
good.
I have no control of her, but
Give a big shout out to Bob for coming to all of our home matches. He's like our biggest
made it.
supporter. He drove in from Bemidji.
He was a road warrior, that guy.
College dad for sure.
Yeah. He loved you girls. Still does. He loved everybody.
That was
I had a memory just pop into my head when Shannon and I were just playing one day just for fun at Dewey. Do you remember, Shannon? And we would, when it would come down like, okay, this is the last point. This is for the state. No, this is the last point. This is for the country, and this is for the world. And there was
Just a little competitive.
I don't know who the guys were. They graduated maybe a year ahead of us, twins.
Yeah,
like-
they were in law school, were they? Twins? Yeah, I can't remember their
And
names.
so they
Dee.
graduated like the year before we got there. I think they were.
Uh-huh.
twins. I don't know. We were all like competitive and thinking they were cute, and
they
then
played
were,
tennis.
yeah,
I think so.
A men's team.
had to have. I don't know. They looked over and they said, "Who do you girls play for?" Like asking what college we were playing for, and Shannon thought they said, "What are you playing for?" So she said, "The universe."
They wouldn't know.
I wonder. That's probably who it was.
I don't know, but
Or was it Heine?
Yeah,
Or Haney?
Carl and John Heine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Both doctors, I think. Is
Yeah.
John a doctor? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I thought law school, but yeah, med school. Yeah, that's who it was, I think.
realized the mistake. Like you couldn't really backtrack and be like, "Oh wait, actually, it's just like, nope, we're playing for the universe." That's what we're doing here.
Oh boy.
Did you guys keep in touch with any of the other men's players from your era, besides Tom, of course?
Polito actually moved to Portland.
That's right.
Like maybe like a year or two ago, and
Yeah,
we
that
were
sounds-
like, "Oh yeah, let's meet at a park and take the kids." And that was probably like 2 years ago. It never happened. Life, I don't know.
Huh. None of the other guys, though, huh?
Just T-Macker. He's still one of my best friends, but I feel like that's a given already because I keep in touch with Caveman too. So.
That's right.
Yeah, we had some good nicknames. Shannon was the nickname queen.
I had some nicknames, I'm assuming.
Every single one of them. We never called Kim Kim. We only called her Cave. Katie was Chooch.
Uh-huh.
Dee
Mama.
and
Uh-huh.
Bemidji.
That's right.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah, there weren't a whole lot of names going on.
No.
Maybe that's why I hated doing introductions so badly.
You would forget all of our real names.
I know.
Tom, do you remember when you used to turn it over to our like pre-match pep talk, and when you used to turn it over to Shannon because she was like the inspirational?
Right.
Shannon, do you remember that?
Ready to run through a wall.
Fired up.
Oh boy. I don't know where I had all that energy before because I certainly don't have it now.
Oh, you were amazing.
Yeah, we don't even, Tom and I don't even participate in the huddle anymore. We talk to them about the match, walk away, and that's what they do, the huddle by themselves now.
Sure.
They found me.
Well,
They're overwhelming me.
hey,
Hi.
you guys can stay on. I'm just going to end the recording at least. So, but I'm just going to say thanks to Deidre and Shannon and Lou, Katie and Kim. You guys were a huge part of Creighton tennis. I think maybe the start of us getting better, not to say anything about the few teams that we had a few years before, but you guys certainly were setting a tone for success for the teams to come. So thanks for all that you did.
4 years.